Man, it's almost 4:30. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This is the social norm.
1, 2. You want top dollar and pop bottles and drop knowledge. Hit the throttle on nice autos without college. Do yourself a solid, put them boys on your screen. Wait, who do you mean? I mean canteen and beans. When the social norm is on, you better pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it, The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information, from relations to dating to when your leader gets impatient. They're lacing the nation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30. The Social Norm Podcast, you heard me?
It's the social norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the social norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the social norm.
And I'm
Yo. You already know what it is, man. We back it again with another one. I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, we changing it up today, man. I'm just going to get right into it because we got a lot to talk about. Today's episode is getting your testicles back. All right. I ain't giving y'all no disclaimer because I got to just jump right into this shit. We got a lot of stuff. This might be a long episode, Beans. All right.
Okay.
Because we got to go through this stuff for the fellas, because right now we in a day and age where a lot of men have lost their masculinity. A lot of men act like they don't know how to be a man. All right. Today we're going to talk about the steps of how to be a man, how to get your masculinity back, how to get your testicles back. All right.
Okay. And this is based off of the book we've read. Well, we're both reading. I don't know if you finished it yet, but
yeah.
No More Mr. Nice Guy.
All right. So first off, let's talk about why you need to have your masculinity. Embrace your masculinity. Because the reason that is, masculinity is pretty much embodying what a man is. When you're embracing your masculinity, you're embracing your manhood. You're embracing who you are meant to be. Okay? When you're not and you're embracing other things, you're not really your true self. Okay, fellas? That's what y'all got to understand.
So it's basically being your authentic self.
100%.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Now, the first step, let's go ahead and get into it.
The PowerPoint. Still not getting over this.
That's cool. The first step to getting your testicles back is you got to connect with other men. A lot of us, honestly, get to a point in our lives where we stop hanging out with each other. We stop having that fellowship. We stop dealing with men, and we isolate ourselves to where we're pretty much going to work, whatever else we do, maybe go to school or something like that. And then that's it. We don't go and literally make a conscious effort to try to get around other men.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I'm guilty of it.
It requires conscious effort. The commitment to develop a male friendship. It takes time, it takes effort, but honestly, fellas, when you go out there and find guys, fellow men that you can hang around, that keeps you in a space to where you're really you're not sitting there seeking female validation, because you have homeboys that you hang around that validate you already. They validate that you're a good person, that you're funny, whatever the case may be, that you're good to be around. A lot of us sit around and say, okay, well, it'll come. No, it won't just come. You have to be around men. You have to make that effort to say, you know what? Let me talk to my neighbor. Let me get somebody from work. And then when you find that person, find a group of guys to hang around, do stuff, go to ball games, go to work, go to hike, go to walk, go to do whatever you got to do as far as being around men, doing what men do.
Basically bonding experiences.
100%.
You hang around the right man.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into that too.
Oh, okay.
All right. But honestly, I can say from experience that when I was a kid, the best time I felt myself was when I was hanging out with my friends. When I was literally,
Well, of course. I mean, there's no judgment. Well, it shouldn't be any judgment among your friends because you basically have common interests. You should have common interests in doing the same thing. So
yeah. And that's when you're your best. That's when you're alive. When you're with your friends doing what you guys do. But somewhere along the line, as you get older, you start to lose that. You start to be where you're just going through the motions of life, of just working and then being around your significant other, girlfriend, wife, or whatever case may be. And somehow you don't make time for it.
mhm.
You have to make time for being around other men. It's just that simple. Sorry. You could do a poker night. You could do sporting events. You could do volunteer work, fishing. It doesn't matter what you do, but you got to get around men that are. That's it. It ain't got. You can do anything. You can play video games. Probably I give a damn.
Yeah.
But you got to get around other men.
Me and my friends used to do that. We used to set out one night a month. It was just guys.
Yeah.
No wives, no girlfriends.
You know what I did? Me and my homeboy, we went on a road trip. We went on a road trip to different states around the East Coast. And I'm telling you right now, it's something, it's women do it all the time. Women have their sisterhood
Yeah.
and brunch and all this other bullshit.
They got us beat when it comes to that.
But that's why we're failing.
Yeah.
Men are failing because we're not embracing our masculinity and being around other men. We have literally sat around and let women say, oh, I've heard so many married men say, well, my wife, she doesn't like when I go hang out with my friends. We don't have time to do that. What do you mean you don't have time?
Yeah. It's crazy because it can be a slippery slope, because sometimes it doesn't come as, I don't want you to hang out with your friends. Sometimes it comes as, I just want to spend more time with you.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. She just wants to be with me. And then you kind of start letting your friends go thinking that it's a good thing. And ultimately you're hurting yourself.
100%. The best thing you can do for your relationship with your girlfriend or wife is to have male friends. You get many of emotional needs met with men becoming less dependent, needy, manipulative, or resentful when you be around men. And you don't let women define what a man is supposed to be. See, when you hang around only women define what a man is supposed to be. Women can't define what men are. The same as men can't define what women are.
That's true.
Men define what men are and women define what women are. It's always been that way. Even though they try to say men don't define that. A woman defines how women are going to be perceived or how they're going to be looked at. They do more shaming with each other than we do towards them. And that's the same way with men. Men should take back who they are and embrace their masculinity and not run from the fact of who you're supposed to be. Because being a man is beautiful. It's not pretty all the time, but it's beautiful, man. All right. So that's step one. You got to find some guys to hang out with. And I'm telling you, make the effort and go. I don't care if you got some guys from work. I don't care if it's somebody that you need to, old friend, reconnect, whatever it is. You got to start getting some male friends around y'all, because that's one of your biggest problems. You don't have male friends, and you literally sit around just twiddling your thumbs and wondering why each day you feel less masculine. All right, let's get to the second step. Getting strong. All right. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory, but I don't think you guys really understand how getting strong is so important to you. Getting in shape is literally the definition. Getting strong is the definition of masculinity. Masculinity is defined by strength and power. When you are embracing your body and you're working out and getting in shape and feeling the burn of working out and muscles, you are embodying what a man is.
Mhm.
You know
You
what
know,
I mean?
it's crazy because I never actually looked at it like that.
Mhm.
I just look at it as, just for the health aspect of it.
Well,
You know,
the-
I mean, yeah, it's part of that too, but I never looked at it as being manly because I work out. You know what I mean?
but that's exactly what it is, though. If you look at all the old Greek gods working out, uh, warriors, that is being a man. Being around men who are working out, who are trying to build their body up. Because once you build your body up, you build your mind.
That's true.
Okay. Now, the one thing you got to start doing, you got to uh, stop putting junk in your bodies. Now, I can sit there and say, I definitely struggle with that. And I'm getting better with it because at the end of the day, when you eat bad food, junk food, fast food, it's good for the moment. But for the long haul, you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you eat that one double cheeseburger, feel good for that 5-10 minutes you're eating it, and then the rest of the day you feel like shit. Or you could eat that salad and you like, I don't really like that salad, but you feel great the rest of the day. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You got to make those sacrifices so you can be the man you meant to be. And it's simple. It's like not eating junk food, training your body, you know. Also, you got to, eliminating drugs and alcohol. That's a big one. When you sit there and put in toxins, put in chemicals, you know, lethal things that can really destroy your body, you're literally moving away from your manhood. You're moving away from being the best person you can be.
Mhm.
And I can say I've definitely done drugs in the past. I've definitely drunk alcohol in the past. I think we all have. But at some point you realize as you get older that none of that actually helps you out.
At all. It's just like the food. If you feel it feels good at the moment,
It gives you fog. It makes you feel
but
it makes you feel like you the man, but
yeah,
you're not
but
really the man
it's
because you
really
haven't
not.
took the steps to be the man. So letting drugs and alcohol go because honestly, when you have a clear mind, you know exactly where you're gonna go in life.
Exactly. And I've been blessed where I have drank before,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been blessed enough where I used to live across the street from a crackhead. And
Okay.
I know it sounds funny, but in the long run, it was a life lesson. Like every day I would walk to school, I would see this dude, and he would always beg me for money and things like that. He was my anti-drug commercial because of his man. I saw this man every day growing up. I never touched drugs, just looking at him.
That definitely will get you on the right path when
Yeah.
you see the fucking teeth get knocked
Yeah,
out
yeah.
and just he begging people for
Begging
change.
for
I don't. Nobody wants to fucking
change.
be that. But it's like, why do you need? If you're on a path of self discovery, why do you need drugs?
Exactly.
Why do you need alcohol to make yourself? All you're doing is numbing other senses,
Mhm.
and you're using it as a crutch.
Yeah, you're filling a void
Now,
that go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
Well, you're basically filling a void that you need to fix
Mhm.
the right way, whether it be therapy or whatever.
Now, with that, after you let go of the drugs and alcohol, you need to be drinking water. And I mean a lot of it. Right now, we're in the summertime, it's very hot. You need to drink at least a gallon of water a day. I feel like a gallon will definitely, something like this, get you like a jug of water,
Mhm.
fill that shit up, and just drink it throughout the day. Fill it up again, drink it up. Because the more you filter out the toxins and be hydrated, the more energy you'll have. And overall, your body is a machine. Once you need to hydrate it so it can run properly. You need to start eating better foods where you're like literally foods like spinach, cabbage, any dark leafy greens, pretty much chicken, fish, and then as far as any starches, you know what I mean, maybe a sweet potato or something like that. But If you start cleaning up your diet and you start cleaning up what you consume, your mind and your body will start feeling better.
Exactly.
And then once you start putting in the work and started lifting, weight training, running, building up your body, you'll start to feel more confident in yourself. It's that simple. I know a lot of y'all like, man, is there any other way? There ain't no other fucking way.
No, there's no easy fix.
There's no easy fix. You gotta show up and you gotta put in the work. Otherwise, you're gonna get the same thing you've been getting.
It's like I would go to GNC, you know, they had all these fat burners and all that. I can't think of the famous ones. They will tell you, you can take this, but you still have to work out.
And
there's no way around it.
It's so sad that we live right now where everybody and their mama keep trying to find a different way to win without just doing the what we know works, which is the work.
Yes.
You want to take supplements, you want to do this, you want to take all these you want to take whatever you got to take to think you're going to get a
instant
a cheat code.
Yeah.
There is no cheat code.
No. Everything leads back to the gym.
And it leads back to hard work and staying consistent and doing it every day.
And when you're talking about changing your diet and people ask, well, how do you do it? I'm like, look, man, sometimes you just got to do one meal at a time.
Honestly,
yeah. It just start at breakfast. If you don't do bacon and eggs, do oatmeal, and then
you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. If you really struggle with your diet, all you have to do is literally say, eat anything that has one ingredient, meaning it's literally carrots. Carrots is one ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
Apples is one ingredient. Chicken is one ingredient. Once you start staying away from processed foods and you just eat whole foods, for the most part, you could eat one meal a day, one big meal a day, and that's it. And then you fast. A lot of people want to run from this, but the reality is we are overeating. And that's why we are big as hell. That's why we're the biggest country in the world. Because they say go eat 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day. We're eating too much.
Yeah, it's so easy to do so.
Yes, because your stomach is a muscle.
Yeah.
So the more you work it out, the more you eat it, the more it gets used to that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit around and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to eat one meal a day and I'm going to let my body run through the process of digesting it all through till I eat another meal a day, then and only then will your body regulate to where it's the size it needs to be.
Yeah, and I mean financially too. It's well, the way inflation is different now, but back then it was easy to get a cheeseburger. It's cheaper to get a cheeseburger than it is a salad.
Yeah, it's always been that easy because the government knows it's easier to have people out of not in good health in a mind fog, and it's a catch-22. We can make money if they have bad health. Guess what? When they go to the doctor and they need medicine, we're getting paid for that. So think about what you're really consuming, fellas. All right, so we already said find you a group of friends, find you a group of guys that you can hang out with on a consistent basis. Even if it's one guy, it doesn't matter. All right. Secondly, get strong. You need to go and get in that gym. You need to go and figure out eating good food, drinking water. Stop with the drugs and alcohol. Stop with the damn junk food. All right. Step 3. Let's get it. Finding healthy male role models. Now, you were saying this earlier about how you say, oh, it's a certain type of man you need to be looking for. That's a fact. You need to figure out, and okay, this is what you guys got to do. You got to literally think about what type of man you want to be. What type of man, when you look out there, is the type of man that is like the ultimate man. And it could be anybody. It could be your uncle. It could be your pastor. You can find him in church. You can find him in school. You can find him in your neighborhood. You can find him in the movies. On a theater. You can find them in the on a TV show. It could be any character or any real person that you see, and you're like, you know what? I like how this man carries himself.
Mhm.
And what you do is you embody, you hang around that person, you involve yourself in that person, and you learn from that person. You use them as a role model, as a mentor, to be who you are going to be, because you don't know how to be those things. You don't know how to be strong. You don't know how to be courageous. You don't know how to be let's see, what other, funny. All these things, whatever you are as you want to be as a man, you need to be around people who are doing those things. Somebody
They're
who's outgoing, somebody who's exciting, all these different things. Find those men and be around them.
so they're basically they're the blueprint.
100%.
Gotcha.
Because you don't know how to do it. You're literally trying to figure out. But if you you make up a man that you want to be, and it could be just from one person, but it also could be from a group of men. You might have one friend that's very outspoken, and that's what you want to be. So you hang around that person and get that from him. You might have another person who's courageous. You know what I mean? You might have another person who's protective. All these different things you can build the ultimate man from, and you learn from these people, and then you take it and you apply it yourself. So finding a mentor, finding healthy men, preferably older men who've already done it. I think that's something you really want to do. You want to get a guy who's been there, who's done it, who you can look up to and ask for advice from. That's the thing that I think a lot of men are failing to do, is they're not asking their elders about questions that they have, in their lives. They're not asking men who have already gone through what they're going through, that are successful, that do have wives, that do have children, that you know what I mean, to where they are here. How did you get here? How did you get here? What were the struggles you did? What would you deal with, like, from this angle, if a woman does this? These are the things you got to do. You got to find your mentor. Because until you find your mentor, you're just running around in circles trying to figure shit out yourself.
Exactly. Repeating the same mistakes. I get it.
Yeah. So, and I have to say, who would you say, if you had to say one person, who would be a mentor for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Like a rep.
And maybe you're still looking for one. I don't know.
I'm definitely still looking for that mentor. I am.
Mm-hmm. I can say there's a guy that my dad's friend, one of my dad's friend, and Mr. Pearson, very godly man, and I like how he moves. I like how he thinks. I just like he has a presence about him, and that is somebody I want to implement in my life, of how he deals with certain things. Very calm, and very it's like when he walks in, he has a presence about himself that you just like have to notice him.
He kind of sounds like my uncle. My uncle's basically the same way. Very religious. He's a pastor of a church.
That's what
very successful.
Yep.
So if I were to try to model myself out of anybody, it'd probably be him.
Okay.
His family, his kids are successful too, and if anybody, it would be my uncle. My sister's brother.
Yeah. So, you can join a team. You can do a lot of things to be around certain guys that maybe they're athletic and you just want to be around them. Write a list down of people that you think could possibly be mentors to you, whether they're in your life or not in your life, and then write what they bring to the table that you're trying to get from them. Okay? So you already have that goal. When I go hang around this person, this is what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to get how he is this way. Okay. So number 4, and this is a big topic, and I think we really got to hit this real hard. All right. Reexamining your relationship with your father.
This is a tough one.
This is a big one that I think a lot of men, a lot of nice guys don't want to speak on, because they don't want to involve this emotion that they have with their father. A lot of nice guys don't have good relationships with their fathers. They have a relationship, but either they felt he was not there, or they felt he was too mean, or not. I actually wrote some things down. Give me a second. Let me write this. So it says, uh, okay, most nice guys do not have a close relationship with their father in childhood. Their father were either passive, unavailable, absent, or defined in some negative way. Most of the time, they've been with their mother. They lean towards their mother because their mother's more nurturing. But then from that, the mother has always pushed a negative view on the father, saying he's mean, saying I don't want you to be like your father, saying your father's no good, just putting a negative light on the male figure. And that's because of relationship things that she's dealing with him, or maybe she didn't feel like he was what she wanted him to be.
Now, you mean like, are these relationships where the mother and father are together, or
whether they're together or not
she
together,
still would? Okay,
she could be she could be with him and still not like
Put
certain
those-
things he does,
okay,
and then try to push that onto the child, the son, because she didn't want him to be like that. But in turn, the son fails to realize, because he's a child and he grows up and the mother nurtures him, and it's always easier to be with someone who's nurturing more than someone who's stern.
yeah,
Okay. And because boys do love their mothers,
very true.
okay, you grow up trying to be, and you have a negative mindset of your father, you grow up trying to be the opposite of him. If you don't have a strong relationship with your father, you grow up trying to be the opposite of him. Or you either have, or you might have a great relationship with your father, and what I mean is, you look at him, you put him on a pedestal where he is like God to you. But in the same sense, on both ends, you're not looking at the man. See, when a lot of times we look at our fathers through child's eyes, we have to now, as adults, have to look at our father through adult eyes and understand that he is a man, a wounded man, a wounded adult. Our fathers are not perfect. Our fathers are not, they are men just like we're men, and they have issues just like we have issues.
Very true.
So when you literally pull yourself back from the situation and look at the man and look at what he has to deal with and look at who he really is, you tend to not be so harsh on your fathers. You tend to look at them as, you know what, they have issues too that maybe they haven't got fixed. I can tell you from my experience, I've had to do that with my father. I've had to look back and realize, because I was very hard on my father, because there was a lot of things that happened when I was a child that I blamed on him. And at the end of the day, whether I blame him or don't blame him, it doesn't really matter. What matters is, what am I going to do now?
Exactly.
Am I going to keep blaming him for why I'm not a certain way? Or am I going to take responsibility of my own actions and take control of my own life?
Exactly.
So I had to look at him and I said, you know what? He has a lot of issues that he's dealing with. And that's what caused him to be a certain way towards me. So I don't get mad at him. I try to understand him. And in turn, I end up understanding myself.
Okay.
Because what you don't realize is you are your father's son. Regardless if he's in your life or not, you are your father's son. He is a part of you.
Yeah.
And you are a part of him.
And how many times have you heard that growing up? I've heard it a lot.
Yeah.
You are your father's son.
So when you embrace that and understand that the male presence of being a man in your father and you kind of respect, you have more respect for them, and you understand the pressures of being a man that he had to deal with. You know what I mean? I don't have a wife. I don't have children. So I had to look back and say, wow, how would it have been for me to have a wife, have children? The pressures I'm under.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's basically how I had to learn. I growing up, I did have a good relationship with my father, but after a while, certain situations, me personally, I just didn't agree in the way he was moving in a way certain things.
Yeah.
So we didn't really see eye to eye on certain things. I didn't hate him or anything like that. It was just like I just didn't like the way he was doing things.
And now this is the thing. The same way you didn't like how your father was doing things, I didn't like how my father was doing things. But then now that I look back at it, look at the results though.
Yeah.
The results don't lie. The actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
My father is a person that I don't move like him. But the thing is, my father's still married to this day. He raised two children.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He made mistakes, but at the end of the day, my mother still wants to be part of his life.
Same with my father.
So at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, do you not like your father because of things that your mother or things, that a female has told you or made you feel, or drama that you dealt with when you were a child? Or do you not like things your father do because you don't feel that's what a man should do? Because ultimately he is a man and he is doing what he needs to do.
Exactly. For me, it wasn't until I got married when I realized, okay, this is why he did this.
Okay. Yeah.
And it didn't hit me until,
you ran his shoes.
Yeah. So I had to go back and okay, now I get it. Experience had to teach me that lesson.
And I think once we start breaking that down, because there's a lot of men who have daddy issues, who have father and don't have good relationships with their father. Mm-hmm. And they have to sit back, and maybe you have to have a conversation with your father. Maybe you don't. But express yourself. It's going to be some anger. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a place where you're going to say some things of how you feel. Now, whether he accepts it or not, it has no bearing on it. What it has is you're freeing yourself of these emotions that you have been dealing with for over how old you are. And once you free yourself of those, then you can pull back layers and say, okay, now I can get past this. Because until you do that, you're going to always not be your best self.
Facts. Very true.
All right. Now, anybody want to get here and talk to us about the situation we're talking about dropping your nuts, man? Learn to get your testicles back. 716-218-9317. You can call in. And also, if you like the content, man, hit the like button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss none of our videos. Every Monday and Friday, we do our show, 4:30 Eastern time. But I just think at some point as a man, you got to get tired of not feeling like a man. And I thought about this. The other day while I was at work. And I said, you understand that everybody always asks, why do women go to men in prison? Why are they so infatuated with men in prison? And you know what I thought about it?
Okay.
Prison ain't nothing but a man camp to be a man. Think
That's
about
true.
what I just said. The whole steps of being a man is being around other men. Check.
Yep.
Check one in prison. You're only around men. And hang out with other men. So they hang out with other men. Boom. That's all they do every day. They do the same thing, hanging out with men. The second thing they do, get strong. What do they do when they get to the yard?
In the yard, working out.
Work out. They work out every day. They are literally building their own. They have no other choice but to be masculine in prison. Prison is literally the definition of where you have to be masculine. There's no femininity in that. If you're feminine in prison, you get fucked.
I'm gonna say you are somebody's girlfriend.
Exactly. So you have to be the most masculine man you can be in prison.
That is crazy. I never looked at it like that.
So that is the reason when a woman sees a man in prison or talks to him or comes and visit him, he is his most masculine self he can possibly be. Because one, all men are around him all day, every day. He has no other choice. There's no feminine energy that brings into him to make him soft.
Yeah, can't falter at all.
And it's not pretty in prison. There's times where you have to literally put up or shut up. You're going to get punked. You're going to get bullied. You're going to have to fight. You're going to get hurt. You're going to have to. It's a lot of aggression in prison. And it's because of a bunch of men put in one space where they can't leave. They can't be around women in a sense of dating or nothing like that. You know what I mean? There's women in facilities, but they can't have sexual relations with them or nothing like that. And so it embodies them to be 100% man. The ones who are not 100% man and they try to be into that feminine, they are somebody's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
They come off rip. You're a girl. You're going to be treated like a female because you can't be in that environment and try to be feminine. It ain't going to work.
No, that's a do or die. Definitely a do or die situation.
And then what happens? They find role models. There's men who go to prison. They find guys who the OGs,
yeah.
And they learn from them. So when I say a lot of men who leave prison come out and they're more masculine than any other man because they've literally trained themselves unconsciously to be a man.
Man training camp. That is so true. I've actually seen an inmate take his brother's girlfriend because
he was more of a man.
Women and this man was on the outside, like he was free.
Because in society we live in right now, women have been teaching boys and all the education in the household. Women are the ones teaching the sons, so they grow up being the most feminine, soft, cuddly little ass boys they could ever be. They're not men. And anybody who grew up with a father, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
You can see how they carry themselves, how they talk, how confident they are, all these different things. And I'm saying is, if you hung out with your father on a consistent basis, hung out around guys on a consistent basis, worked out, built yourself up, was an athlete, whatever case may be, you got more women. Speaking of that, didn't you tell me that there was a girl you used to have a crush on and she had to choose between you and the athlete?
The athlete, yeah.
What do you think she chose him for?
She chose
I don't make this up, fellas.
Yeah, she did.
You gotta take a stance at some point. You gotta stop letting yourself shrinkle away and be more of a female each day. You don't go out there and take a stand. Be a man. Get your masculinity back. Drop your nuts. Get your testicles back, y'all. Is that I'm telling you, when I bring up these things that come in my mind, I'll be like, damn, this really is it. This book has helped me learn how to embrace myself.
It's done the same for me. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not, like I told you before, when I first read the book, I was like, this is some bull. This is
when you I'm sorry about that. When you start doing this, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. The lady in your life, if you have a lady in your life, she's gonna start saying, what's up with you? Why are you acting different? You know what? She's gonna put every blockade for why you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And the reason she's doing that is because she does not want to see you. She's confused. She doesn't want to see you become a man, because once you become a man and you embrace your masculinity, you're more of a danger to leaving her. See, she knows when you're a soft little bitch, no woman wants you. But see, when you embrace your masculinity and you become the man you was meant to be, guess what? That's competition now. Women are they're the number one people who don't want to put in work. They never have. That's why they attach themselves to us so we can go ahead and get the bacon and they can stay at home. They don't like doing that. You think as much as women try, they don't like really putting in hours of work and labor. They're not built that way. And it's not nothing wrong with it. They're just different from us. So I'm telling you the same reason if you go, Thor, the movie, what's his name? What's the actor's name?
Is it Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth just came out with movie Thor. The movie is trash. It's butt cheeks. But the man was in the best shape he's ever been in.
Okay.
Ever. And guess what? His wife told him in the interview, she thinks it's too much. It's too much muscle. Some of the women in his family said it was too much muscle. Women who, that was a clear sign that's the best he's ever looked in his life.
They're saying he was too in shape.
They're talking about he's too in shape. How do you can be too in shape? Because you know why? He looks like a god. And the woman understands the more a man gets into his own masculinity, the more of a risk she has to be in more of her femininity. She has to step her game up. She can't, but she doesn't want to do that. That's too much work for her. So what she does is try to talk in his ear. You shouldn't be that strong. You shouldn't be that in shape. I don't like how that looks. Why does she like for him to be great? Think about that, fellas. Why does your woman not want you to be great? If she complains about you going to the gym, if she complains about you dressing better, if she complains about you going on a diet, it's because she knows it's a control mechanism. She's using that to keep you with her.
I understand. I get what you're saying. Did his Thor's wife say? Did they ask her like, why don't you like this?
No, they didn't. No, she just said, I think it's too much. It's just too much.
And they just
too,
ended it
too
right
bulky.
there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't.
I know. I get it.
It was
I
a
get what
written
you're saying.
interview. I didn't ask. I didn't watch it on tape.
I know. I'm just.
I wasn't there, dude.
I know. I'm just saying. It's just a weird. To me, it's a weird thing to say. That's all.
But it just shows you how even a woman who's married will always try to make their man not be the best he can be because she has to step up. She always is in a security mode. So don't listen to women. Listen to men. Don't take your advice from women. Don't use your self-worth of how you feel about yourself or validation from women. Get it from men. Let your men be your crutch. Let your men, when you find your group of friends that you're going to be with, you can talk to them about stuff. And guess what? They'll tell you the real truth. 100%. They're not going to tell you what they want to tell you. They're going to tell you what you need to hear.
Not what you want to hear.
Yeah. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. And they say, look, hey, man, you're sounding like a little bitch. Guess what? You are. That's what you're sounding like. You're crying over this woman. You're doing it. Drop your fucking nuts. Get your testicles back and go out there and be a man. Start working hard. It's not going to be easy. It isn't supposed to be easy. That's what being a man is. It's being hard. It's knowing yourself and going out there and getting it done. And you will see the benefits from it the more you do it.
I'm learning that now. I totally agree.
Because I'm telling you, once you start building your body up and start doing, you're going to get the confidence to go talk to that girl you wanted to talk to. You're going to get the confidence to ask that girl out.
And I think that's an added, well, for me, that was an added benefit that I never really thought about. The confidence part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We started doing our thing. And I just wanted to feel better physically.
Okay. And this, I'm going to be honest with you. This is I watched a video the other day, and the dude literally said this, and he's in great shape. Dude's in great shape. And he said this, and I thought about it. I'm like, damn, he's fucking right. He said, you got one fucking body, right? This is the body you're living with. You're not going to get another body. Imagine if they told you can only get one fucking car for the rest of your life. Wouldn't you get the most expensive fly ass fucking car ever?
Yeah, the
best car you could get,
possibly get. Yeah.
So why are we as men not trying to get the best body we can get? You should look in your fucking mirror, and if you don't look in your mirror and say, I look fucking great, you need to get to work. Let them motherfucking donuts, them Twinkies, honey buns, all that shit go. The sodas, the fucking energy drinks, all that shit. Let that shit go. Drink it's simple. You just don't want to put in the work. You fucking lazy. You lazy. You don't want, that's what it really comes down to. You're lazy, and you get what you fucking get when you're lazy. So don't come complaining to me or Beans when you sit around and you're not putting in the work and you're not going out there and trying to get it. That's the shit you don't want to hear, but that's the truth for your ass.
That one almost sounded personal.
Well, I'll talk to myself too on this.
No, I know. I get it. I hear
Yeah.
you. I totally hear you. Is any more of this
What?
presentation? Like, is that the last
no,
step?
that was the last step. It was only 4 steps.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna recalibrate. Like I said, number 4 is re-examine your relationship with your father. You got to get that together, man. You got to talk to your father. You got to, even if he's gone, you need to have that powwow to express what's really going on and look at your father through adult eyes, not child eyes. Okay, he's a man too. Number 3, I said finding healthy male role models. You need to embody what you want as a man, what you see as a good man, the characteristics of a good man, and then find them. It could be through friends, it could be through uncles, it could be through people who are celebrities. It could be somebody who's a fake imaginary James Bond. I don't give a fuck who it is, but you got to find them and then
embody
them, be around them.
Gotcha.
Number 2 is simple. It's getting strong, man. Clean up your fucking diet, drink a lot of water, stop smoking, stop drinking, stop doing drugs, work out, lift weights, do push-ups. It's simple, man. Push-ups, sit-ups, some shrugs, and some dips, and then go fucking run. That's it. You do that shit every day and get a routine and build your body up. You'll get mentally strong. And then number 1, connecting with other men. You're doing it right now. You talking, you listening to us. You sitting there, figure out some men that you want to be around, that you want to hang around, and go outside and do something, man. You don't need to be sitting in the house. The more you're sitting in the house alone, isolated, the more you're becoming more feminine. You're becoming more weak. You need to get up and do something. Every day, you should be making plans to either a asserted effort to call up a friend, call up a buddy, maybe you ain't talked to in a while. So just have a conversation with them and say, hey, man, would you like to go out? Maybe go for a walk, go get a beer, whatever the case. Well, don't get a beer because we just said don't do that. Go get some wings. Don't get some wings. Fuck all that. You're trying to get on your diet. Just go outside, play, throw some football around.
Get a smoothie, get the protein shake, whatever.
Something. Go to the gym, bro. Yes. Do you want to go to the gym with me? We're gonna go work out, lift some weights, throw some steel around.
I've done that.
You know what I mean? And afterwards, and you don't even just got to do. You could just do powwows. You could say, man, hey, everybody come over to my house. I'm gonna make some food, and we're gonna sit around and just chit chat, man, hang out. Ain't nothing better than just being around men and hanging out. I don't remember there was times when me and Beans was literally walking around, and not walking around, but I was like, man, you know what? Let's go do this. We went and did it, and I literally could have invited a woman to go with me, and I was like, I don't fucking want to, because it's work. You know, when you bring a woman around, you can't be your true self sometimes, and that's where I'm trying to get to, where I can be my 100% self, and I don't give a fuck what they think.
Yeah, I think it's because I've even done this. You make the mistake of trying to impress the lady.
Like her impress. And I just look, ready? Watch this.
Go ahead.
I just found out that motherfucking Chris Brown was charging $1,000.
Oh yeah, I saw that
for pictures that look like they're like couples. Fellas, you don't have to impress women. Either she fucks with you or she doesn't. Build yourself up to where she wants to fuck with you, to where you ain't got to impress her. Your presence impresses her. That's what I've been saying. It's at a point now you shouldn't even have to really deal with women until you get to a point where you feel she's on your motherfucking nuts.
Was that you who sent that to me? That whole Christmas? I think that was you who sent that to me.
Maybe I did. I probably did send it to you. You know what I mean? You guys sit around and don't work out, don't hang around other fellas. So all you do is ask for her to validate you, to show, oh, well, if she's happy about for you, oh, you're all good. You're all, ooh, yay for the day. And then when she's mad at you, oh, I feel like shit. I'm nobody. Why do you give a fuck what how she feels about you? You know how many times my mother was pissed off at my father? You know how many times? A zillion. I can't even count. And guess what? My mom ain't left since. She's not going nowhere because whatever my father does embodies what a man is, and that's what she wants to be around. Every man I've seen who's been married for fucking decades is a son of a bitch. He's an asshole. He's mean. He's whatever, but he is who he is.
Yeah, my father. My parents been married for 50 years, and as many times my mother has.
So when you sit around and you don't like your father, understand that's your feminine side. You're not embracing what a man is. That's the truth. You know. That's the goddamnest truth, man.
Some revelations today.
It is. Anything you want to talk about before we
get out of this heat wave?
Yes, because I ain't about to sit around and keep talking to you guys and you don't understand. I gave you the blueprint. I gave you the blueprint to get your masculinity back. It's 4 steps. If you don't want to take the 4 steps, then just be the little bitch you're gonna always be. If you want to be a man, go ahead and start doing those things. You got any questions? Hit me in the comment section.
I will say this about the whole examining the father part.
What?
If I do think, I don't know if it says it in the book or not. If you do have like some type of issue with your father, I do think it's important to forgive them, not just for them, but for yourself too. You know what I mean? Like I can't remember if it says it in the book or not, but I do think it's important to, like you said, they are human. They do make mistakes. And you just have to let it go. So for yourself.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say before we get up out of here?
I'm good, man.
Hey, man. I'm your boy Canteen. This is my fucking man Beans.
Y'all have a good weekend.
It's a social norm, man. Y'all better go ahead and do this shit. Otherwise, I'm gonna just move on past y'all and I'm gonna get your girl. I don't give a fuck at this point.
That's what we doing now.
That's it. It's cutthroat out here. It's being a man. I ain't got no more else to say to y'all. We out. Daddy.